What up, homies? Welcome back to a new episode of Recently in Indie Gaming. What are you looking for in your limited game time? Fun, right? Maybe inspiration? A challenge? Sometimes that means finding and playing a treasure of a game that like 3 passionate people made in their free time before going fully independent. I'm not going to define what fun is for you. I'm just trying to dig up gems from the indie cave and display them.
Alright, gotta watch out for that. New trend, picnics. People leave twice as much trash behind today. Come on! Nice button. Alright, more noodles.
We haven't even really started yet, but how about we immediately slow down a bit? Today on the list is Minami Lane, and if Steam had a deceleration keyword tag, this game would be number 1 on the list. In Minami Lane, we calmly build a Japanese street, a 1-car wide road with houses, shops, onsen and karaoke bars. A quiet avenue where the people roam around and buy their favorite food, drinks, books and flowers, and where every cyclist rides south. You could call it a lane heading south, if you will. All of this is coded into a maximum relaxed pastel-colored frosting with a chill soundtrack, but to make sure that you don't, completely drift off into a meditative state, the game offers a light strategic challenge that doesn't allow autopilot mode, but also doesn't contradict the otherwise almost ASMR vibes. Also, thanks for coming by and giving this passionate but totally random guy on the internet a click. They say the YouTube algorithm really vibes with that sort of stuff. At its core, Minami Lane is a management game. Think of yourself as the mayor of this one single street that you want to see thrive. In 5 different missions, you are presented with different tasks and optional challenges that all revolve around building up your neighborhood, getting new villagers, satisfying their specific needs, and keeping your environment pretty. These missions all have certain requirements that you have to meet in order to succeed. For example, in Mission 1, you are supposed to build a boba shop, reach a street satisfaction level of 75%, and have at least 15 villagers living in your Minami Lane. The optional challenge, which you have to complete to 100% the game, demands that you achieve these mission goals in no more than 12 in-game days. Later missions will introduce different village groups, new buildings, and cats that you not only can, but you also have to pet.
Nice, we found a cat. And we can just annoy this cat as
The actual gameplay loop consists of day-to-day decision making. At the start of the day, you can build exactly 1 new building, upgrade all your existing buildings as much as you want and have resources for, and modify the items your different stores are selling to better meet your village's needs. Let's talk a bit about that last part. In Minami Lane, you don't just plop down a ramen shop and call it a day. Your villagers like their ramen in a very specific way, either with more or less noodles, eggs, pork or chicken. Which recipe they like is for you to find out and optimize for. Figuring out the perfect ramen recipe directly influences your street satisfaction level with every slurp. Minami Lane exists in the void, and your villagers will not and cannot go anywhere else to fulfill their "I need 3 pieces of pork in my ramen, but only if there's 2 noodles and abso-fucking-lutely no egg" needs. Take that first mission. If you want to reach 75% street satisfaction, you better serve up the most oishi ramen in town. Or, in Lane, I guess. This same logic is applied to all the different shops. The boba store has to have perfect tapioca usage. The karaoke bar better have that one banger from the 90s. The bookstore has to have language books in store or we will riot, and the konbini either is stocked with onigiri and soda or we'll roam around the streets sad and disappointed, thinking about our life and the consumerist hellhole our existence has become, and that, to be honest, even the most kawaii street advertisement cannot fix. As a bonus kicker, different villager groups want different products. You have youths and elderly living on your street, and they do not want to buy the same stuff. Which means that you have to have a dedicated young bucks and old geezers version of every store and twiddle around with the recipes until your target audience is satisfied. That is, until there is some new trend on social media and suddenly people want different books, ramen toppings or boba ingredients. But don't worry, you don't have to guess. Each time a villager visits one of your stores, they'll have a little thought bubble over their head, indicating how they liked the experience and what they would wish for instead if it wasn't perfect. They also give you input on the prices, so you could theoretically try to squeeze them for their last penny as long as they perceive the prices as fair. But in my playthrough, I never really ran into money problems. So just tone down the capitalist pig in you and let these homies eat. Alright, so back to your daily decisions. Based on your game plan, on the mission and your villagers' input, you can buy one new building and make it look the way you want, upgrade other buildings and fiddle around with the different recipes and store supplies. Once you are satisfied with your picks, you then click the Start Day button and just watch the day unfold. Your villagers will start roaming around the street, settler style, visit your shops to spend their hard-earned okane and talk about their lives. You'll collect their input on your recipes and you also collect the pieces of trash your villagers drop, pet the neckos that come along and click every cyclist speeding by. Each of these actions gives you money, and more importantly, for my completionist gang, there's Steam achievements to pet 100 cats and pick up 300 pieces of trash. Also, every day there's a hidden Tanuki somewhere on the map that you should find and click on. And that's pretty much the gameplay of Minami Lane. This game is not overly complex, but there are enough buildings and customizations to keep you entertained. And the hunt for the perfect recipe also is fun. The optional challenges aren't, super hard, but they will still keep you engaged and focused. You won't have to min-max your village to achieve everything, but you also won't stumble into fulfilling the objectives. You have to plan and organize your street and shops, which in turn makes you feel accomplished when you actually complete the 5 missions with everything checked off. Long story short, it's fun and engaging, but not hard. The story of this game is pretty simple. Your Tanuki homie Emma needs you to turn Minami Lane into a bustling, happy and pretty street. Through the 5 story missions, you unlock new building options and other features, and in the end, you'll even greet a completely new villager group in your street, which I won't spoil here.
Petting them is said to bring happiness and prosperity. But I can't pet this cat. Dev, please fix. What the fuck? Konbini, huh? Just 6 of them. This is the real Tokyo experience here. Family Mart, Family Mart, Family Mart, Family Mart, Family Mart, 7-Eleven. Alright, cool.
Other than that though, there is not much story here, obviously. The elders would like to have more young people neighbors to liven up the street. People want street cats roaming around, which requires beautification to attract them. And in the end, you combine everything you've learned to attract the secret 3rd villager group. I doubt that you'll discover new revelations for your own personal life here, unless it is to slow down a bit. Take a step back from your 9-to-5 grind and the elusive corporate ladder struggle to just, sit back with a tea in hand, watching a cat swagger across the sidewalk. Moving on to vibes, you probably can already tell that this game is extremely cozy. The music is relaxed and all the little sound effects of the street and its inhabitants are noticeable and fitting and add on to the chill atmosphere.
Satisfying music.
The amazing pastel-colored Japanese look and feel of the game world is probably the first thing to capture your interest and pull you into the game. And it's also very well executed throughout your whole experience. It feels organic and respectfully executed and not just tacked on for cheap attention grabbing. With every building you place, you will also get to choose between several color themes and the form of the roof, allowing you to make this street your own little creation. Certain beautification upgrades to your buildings also enhance these visuals even more, by adding vending machines to shops, big flashy ramen bowls and boba signs and little ponds for your parks. It's hard for me to think of a game that is more easy to get into than Minami Lane. There is basically no hurdle. You don't have to remember secret techniques or button combinations, and you play this just with your mouse or your controller since it's been updated and gotten a Switch release while I worked on the script. You will never be overwhelmed by what is going on, and even the cozy as AF vibes of it all turn this into the most easy to pick up games out there. Hard day at work? Perfect. Sit back and relax with some light strategy, engaging gameplay and pleasing visuals. Hanging on Discord with the homies? Play this in the background while you talk about how much of a disappointment AAA publishers are.
Tanker truck spills milk. Expect twice as many cats as usual today. Ooh woo! Nice.
As for replay value, this game is short. I finished it in 4.5 hours and I got every achievement in one livestream. By the way, link in the description. After those 5 story missions, you finished the game. There is a sandbox mode which, gives you the option to play this indefinitely, but you will probably put this on your completed pile after 4 or 5 or 6 hours. The dev homies already declared that they will not add new content to this game apart from bug fixing. It's a one-off, and in my opinion, that is absolutely perfect and the right decision. Minami Lane clearly is a labor of love and you will enjoy your time with it. Keep in mind also, this game costs $5, which feels absolutely ridiculous to me. I even got it for $4 because of the Steam launch discount, and I feel like I stole from the devs. It is well worth the price and well worth your time. For what it wants to be, Minami Lane is pretty much perfect, and if what you've seen so far seems even slightly interesting to you, absolutely go and get it. If you can, maybe don't even wait for a discount so the devs get actually paid for their labor. However, throughout these videos, my review scale is equalized for every game and good games start at a 5 out of 10. So if I put a game like Baldur's Gate 3 at a 10 out of 10 and Stardew Valley at a 8.5, I have to adjust my rating for Minami Lane accordingly. I give this game a well-deserved 6.5 out of 10. It's cozy and fun and it has a neat strategy component that really pulls you in. It's not a very long game, and when you've successfully built everything once, you will probably, happily, put it aside completely satisfied, and the 4 to 6 hours you get will be great. For those same $4 that I paid for Minami Lane, I could also have gotten 2 character editor token DLCs for Dragon's Dogma 2 and questioned my life choices for days, so